And what is a really crucial strength that is going to suit us down to the ground is work rate. From what I've read, he's like an engine.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
literally, he's relentless.
So welcome back to BCFC Royal Blue. And Birmingham City have confirmed the transfer of Kanya Fujimoto. Now, this one was a little bit back and forth, a little bit delayed. I believe there might have been something to do with his ankle in terms of the medical, but we finally got it over the line. And I think as a fan base, we've all agreed, we do need to improve and strengthen those attacking midfield positions. And it looks like Fujimoto is going to be brought in to play either centre mid or he can play in the 10 and the attacking positions as well. So, Dad, Kanya Fujimoto, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, another player, as you mentioned, Matt, this has been bubbling for a little while, hasn't it, in terms of the interest that we had in him. And then there was rumours that it had fallen through and there was issues in terms of the medical and stuff like that.
His ankle, wasn't it, I believe?
Yeah, but I believe so. But I mean, I think it's only right and proper for the club to be cautious in these situations. They'll do all their medicals and make sure that he's okay and stuff like that. And we have got him on a free. He's it's a free transfer, isn't it? So his contract ended. He was playing in Portugal in the Portuguese Premier League.
Yeah.
Gil Vicente.
Primera League.
Yeah.
Primera
So he's it is a top league in Europe. It's the top division in Portugal. We know that there's teams in there like Benfica, Sporting Lisbon, and decent teams. But he's 25 at the time of recording, but he's 1st of July's birthday, so he'll be 26 at the start next season. It's a good age.
Definitely, really good age, and there's a lot of excitement around Fujimoto. There, I think he's quick. He's got a good assist. I mean, I'm sure you've got all the stats on his record this season, but his assists were really high in the league he was in this season. He looks quite flary, quite quick. I think he's going to add quite a lot of benefit, quality to our team. And there's been quite an influx, hasn't it, over the last 5 years, Dad, of Japanese players coming and having a real impact in this country. I thought it was interesting just to quickly, you got Sakamoto at Coventry, who's been really good. You've got Ohashi at Blackburn, who's been doing good. And the big one, the big star, I guess, of the Japanese world is Mitoma from from Brighton.
I think the big star is Tomoki Iwata.
Because he's valued at 40 million. The guy.
And when you Yokoyama as well.
Yokoyama, Myoshi we had.
Yeah.
Iwata at Blues right now and stuff. So again, there's been a big influx of Japanese. But quick question: do you remember the first ever Premier League Japanese player?
No.
Think about the 2002 World Cup.
Oh God! Honestly, my mind's
Junichi Inamoto.
Oh yeah,
do you remember him?
Yeah.
Played for Arsenal. He was the first ever Japanese player to come in. But since then, there's been some quality coming in from Japan. We've picked up a few ourselves from the K League over the years, Dad. But yeah, this player looks like the real deal.
He is. I mean, he's as you mentioned, he's attacking midfielder, and that's somewhere we can always look at. We have got a decent midfield, but we need to be more attack minded, don't we? We've agreed that. From what happened last season, he seems to fit the bill quite nicely. 5'9", so he's not the tallest of player, but in that position as attacking midfield doesn't necessarily have to be. Yeah, very, very, very pacey. So here's some key strengths that I've researched about him as well. He's very good at picking out a pass. In terms of he's got good vision, so he can actually see. And I think that's what we lacked last season. Do you know how many times did we comment in post-match podcasts about the players had made runs and
especially Stansfield.
Yes, yeah, and they just didn't get past. They played sideways and backwards. But apparently, this player he's got that vision to be able to see that type of pass. So. That is a real key attribute, I think, that can't be underrated, that we do really desperately need, someone who can actually sort of, just have the vision to see where a player's made a run. So he can play, and that creates clearly goal-scoring opportunities. Very strong at dribbling as well and agility. So we love players like that, don't we?
Yeah, I love
Blues that can go around players, and he's got really good skills and agility. He's very good at the short passing game as well, which is good because in terms of the way we do play possession-based football, and that's going to be interesting to see how that works out next season for us because we dominated possession in League One, but we're going to be coming up against teams that also dominate possession in the Championship. In that situation, that's where you need these short passes as well to keep and knit up the game as well. Very good at set pieces as well. Fantastic set piece ability, one of his great strengths. And what is a really crucial strength that is going to suit us down to the ground is work rate. From what I've read, he's like an engine. He's relentless.
It's funny, Dad, because the biggest attribute I've got on mine. It doesn't mean it's his strongest, but it just happens to be top of my list is stamina.
Yeah.
So it comes back to that energy and that work rate. Apparently,
Yeah.
the guy just doesn't stop running.
Yeah.
Absolute engine room. So if you think about a number 10 or an attacking midfielder, we think about Alfie May, the little busy bee, he runs around and stuff like that. Imagine, because we all know Alfie May is great. We love Alfie May, but he's not an attacking midfielder. He's a number 9. He's a goal scorer. Yeah. Whereas if you put someone with that kind of energy, busy bee energy in the 10, who's good on the ball, and what I love about him, Dad, is he can carry the ball as well. And how many times did we say last season? I completely agree with you. Stansfield's made a really good run and he hasn't been picked out. And also, take the ball 5-10 yards forward.
Yeah.
Don't just look at coming back. I mean, there is a place to come back. Chris Davies, his style of football is to keep hold of the ball and pound the rock. We're not saying let's move away from those principles, but sometimes take your man on, be brave, have some courage, take it round him, pick the pass out. And to me, Fujimoto looks like the kind of guy who's going to get the ball at his feet, and if he fancies it, he's going to take his player on.
Yeah,
and that's what you want in a number 10, especially, is to have a bit of skill, take it round him, creativity, and I think he's going to be great, Dad. And yeah. Again, ball creativity and vision, dribbling and agility, stamina, versatility. A few weaknesses. In the interest of a balanced argument, is ball retention. Yeah. So sometimes he can lose the ball a little bit easy. Defensive contribution, which is definitely going to have to get trained out of him because Chris Davies isn't going to have stand for a lack of. Yeah. And I'm not comparing Japanese for Japanese, but it does happen to fit to this video. Is Yokoyama, I believe, got loaned out due to his lack of defensive contribution.
Yeah, because you can't argue with his ability going forward, his ability to take on players.
He just didn't do the defensive side of the game.
I agree, but a lot of players have fallen foul of that, haven't they? I'm thinking of the Bakunas and the Dembeles, who were good technically going forward, but coming back, they left us exposed. So
exactly
that will.
So that's
if he don't sort that out, he won't last long at Blues.
Exactly, and that's definitely going to have to be trained over. And the last one is physicality, and we do see this with, again, I'm not being stereotypical, but with Japanese players, they are a little bit light, aren't they? Miyoshi was very light, and Sakamoto. I wish we had Sakamoto. Oh God!
Myoshi.
No, I've just said his name. The guy who got loaned out, Yokoyama. So yeah, physicality as well. But I think in a number 10 position, I don't worry as much about those sorts of attributes because you're supposed to be a little bit. I mean, look at, again, ridiculous comparison, but look at Messi. He's tiny.
Yeah.
But he's really solid on the ball because he's got that nippy. His centre of gravity is lower. But yeah, I'm really excited for this one, Dad, because we've banged this drum about the left, the right, and the centre attacking mid. These are the kind of players we need,
and these are the type of players that get the fans off their seats as well. It makes things happen and stuff like that. So if he can be that type of player, I agree with you about the weaknesses. I've read that as well. With physicality, every player can't be 6'6" and built like a tank.
You can't have Claras everywhere, can you?
No. So that is clearly any of these smaller players are going to get knocked off, and particularly a player in that position, they will get knocked off the ball more regularly because of the threat that they can pose as well. Mm-hmm. But he's very attack minded, as I say. We'll have to ensure that he sorts out that defensive part in him. A little bit about his history, actually. A good thing as well, he's left footed as well.
Yeah,
he's left footed, so that's something good to have more balance in that midfield as well. Last season in the Portuguese top league, he had 30 appearances, had 5 goals and 6 assists. That's okay, not fantastic. It's okay. Yeah. 5 goals and 6 assists. Okay. He was originally obviously in the Japanese J League with Tokyo Verdy. And initially went on loan to Gil Vicente in August 2020. And then they eventually signed him permanently in 2022. So he's been there a few seasons, but he's sort of games for goals. So he's played in total 181 games for Gil Vicente, scored 15 goals and 24 assists in that time over there. Mm-hmm. Again, that's okay, isn't it?
Yeah.
For Tokyo Verdy, 50 games he played with 4 goals and 5 assists. He's played for the Japanese under 15s, 16s, 17s, 18s, 19s, and 20s. But the last time he played for the Japanese international was the under 20s, going back to 2019. So he's not taken that step internationally.
It's a very competitive, even when you're talking, South Korea teams, Japan, and it's still very competitive when you hit the actual first team national team.
Yeah.
So that's no
No, you're right.
Yeah.
They seem to be very more of a technical team, the Japanese players, don't they?
To be fair, Dad, I know I asked you a question earlier about who do you remember the first Premier League player was Junichi Inamoto, but I remember watching that 2002 World Cup, South Korea, Japan, a lot of the Asian teams, they did really well, didn't they? They kind of opened the eyes to that league, I would say.
I think Japanese football is very much of an improving league. But a lot of the players, the best players, tend to leave Japan and go and play elsewhere in the world, don't they?
Like England now.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most popular choice for Japanese players, and they're proving, all the players you mentioned earlier, all done very well or doing very well where they are as well. So,
but I think that England's quite a technical league. You can look at the Spanish league and the German league, and every league in the world has their own different attributes. I would say England is fast, it's technical. You have to be skillful, you have to unlock, and I think the English game quite suits that technical Japanese kind of player.
Yeah. I think you're right, and we like that type of player as well, don't we?
Yeah, I think so.
But having said that, though, we have a player already in Tomoki Iwata that is more of he's not as technical, though. He has got some technical skill.
I mean, look at that goal against Newcastle.
Yeah, that was very good. But what I'm saying is he's more of a workhorse,
disruptor,
a workhorse in the midfield, isn't he? And so you get these different types and styles of players. Just a little bit on him last season. In the Portuguese league, I've got all the fixtures here that Vicente played in terms of how often he played, and he was a regular. He was a regular in the team. Most of the games he played 90 minutes. Although some of the games he was obviously brought on or as a sub or taken off, but there's a lot of full games he's played there. So he's clearly a first choice member of their squad. They finished in the end. Gil Vicente finished 13th, and there's only 18 teams in that league,
right.
And they were pretty much safe from relegation. They got the relegated team got 27 points. The final place they got 34, so they're 7 points above the relegation zone. So it's a lot like sort of playing for a sort of a lower league or lower team in that first division, but one that didn't suffer from relegation. Heat map, I hear you say. His heat map is primarily showing as an attacking midfielder, slightly biased to the right side. So but the heat map shows, like you mentioned, his stamina clearly covers a lot of ground, and the heat map shows that. So this is the heat map for his 30 games in the Portuguese Premier League last season. There's a lot of ground he covers, but there seems to be a bias to that right hand side. So he could work as a possibly on the right.
Yeah, there's three positions he can play. That he can play centre mid. He can play in the 60s where Paik and Iwata play as well. He can play in the 10, which is his predominant position, but he can play on the right side of attacking mid as well. So again, you talk about versatility and depth in numbers. If he's not quite, maybe let's say we bring in a number 10 or Williamson ups his game, or who knows what could happen at Blues. We could play him out on the right as well.
Yeah, and the heat map suggests that is a possibility as well. So I think we're probably getting quite a versatile player here. Someone who can play in those number of positions, which is a good attribute to have, isn't it? We have got a few players like that. So Taylor Gardner-Hickman, for example, can play multiple positions, and these are the type of players that when you need them and you've got them on the bench, that if something happens in a game, you can adapt the squad or the team to suit whatever's going on. And he's one of these players that could come in there. But be interested to see how he gets on. Say if we can sort out his defensive side of his game, this could be a very good signing for us.
The Japanese Taylor Gardner-Hickman. We'll start calling him.
Yeah.
Well, Taylor Gardner-Hickman works in the bar from time to time, and he's literally everywhere. So
Taylor Gardner-Hickman is
just crazy.
He's probably the ultimate example of the versatile player.
He is, isn't he? But anything else on Fujimoto, Dad?
Again, it's one of these ones that we know very little about. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm sure the club have done their due diligence. He looks like he could fit in really, really well. But of course, as always, time will tell.
We don't know until he kicks that first ball, do we? No. But as always, Birmingham City supporters, we would love to hear from you. As Dad said, some of these players we have to do quite a lot of research on ourselves. But if you see anything from Fujimoto, from his time in Portugal, maybe from the K-League, whenever it might have been, let us know your thoughts on him. Are you excited that he's came in? What do you think he might bring to the Blues team this season? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video specifically, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and check us out on our social media channels. We have an X page, we have an Instagram page, and we're also over on Spotify as well now, so you can listen or watch us over on that platform as well. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and press that subscribe button so you get so you can see all of our videos and press that bell notification so you get notified every time we post. And myself and Dad will see you on the next one, all about Birmingham City.